Welcome to this video tutorial on Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran. This is a song that can kind of be played one of two ways, either on electric and difficult to play while you sing, or on acoustic with just chords. And it'll still, it's still going to stretch your abilities a little bit. There's some unique chords, and I'll show you a couple cool ways to play it so you can make it sound a lot better. But all that being said, let's get into the lesson and we'll start tackling this. Alright, so let's go through the parts to this song. Now we're going to have a verse, okay? We're going to have a pre-chorus, and then we're going to have a chorus which is just the verse, but then it's going to have a little extra on the end. Now what I want to do is I want to go through how to play this kind of the easiest way with just the chords, and then I'm going to show you some of the tricks that you can use to play some of these chords in a little bit different way to make it sound just a little bit better and a little bit more like the original song. So let's start then with the verse, and let's get these chords down, and then we can move on from there. So the verse is going to start on the D, okay? Now there's one chord in this. It's called the D/F chord. This D/F chord that's going to be a little bit more difficult to play if you've never used your thumb before, but you're going to hear pretty quickly how it sounds and why this is exactly how he plays it. Okay? So we're going to start on the D major. Okay, then we're going to move to this D/F chord. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stay on the D major, but what we're going to do is on this the very low E string, the closest string towards us, on the second fret, we're going to put our thumb. Okay, so that's going to sound like this. So we're playing D. Okay, so you hear that, how that F note comes in. And actually, and this is something we're going to talk about more in the advanced, but if we can avoid hitting the very high E string, things are going to sound a lot better because you're going to hear these lower notes. But like I said, we'll get into that as we get more advanced here. But we're going to have the D. D/F chord. Okay, then we're going to go to the G. Okay, and then we're going to go to the A. Those are going to be our chords. Okay, so we're going to play D, D/F, G, A, D, D/F, G, A. So once you can get that D/F chord down, D with the F root, then you're going to be able to do that part pretty well. So that is our verse. Okay, and then now you'll see as you hear the song, he actually sings the verse in kind of two parts, where he sings one way and then he sings the other way. So as you play the song more, you'll see that there's that difference. It's still the same chords, though, that he's playing, okay? Okay, so now let's move to this pre-chorus, where we're going to switch up the notes that we're playing, the chords that we're playing. They're not difficult, but there is going to be a B minor in here, but I'll show you how to play it without the B minor if you kind of decide to do that. So the way he plays this is like this. We're going to go E minor, okay, A major, D major, E minor, A, E minor, A, B minor. Then he finishes out with the E minor, okay, then A, and then he does that build up A where he goes, and he stops. Then he goes back into the verse. So what we want to do here, let's go through this pre-chorus one more time. If we don't want to play the B minor, it's going to sound good if we play the D instead. Okay, so let's run through that all again if that didn't make sense. So we're playing the same, that same song structure with just kind of the open chords, okay? We're playing E minor, but we play it twice as long, so you can even strum that E minor twice, okay? So it's A major, D, E minor, E minor, A major, E minor, E minor, A major, B minor. Or we can play E minor, A major, D major again, E minor, A major, build it up. Okay, so let's play that one more time through. I'm going to play it with the B minor, but if you want to play it with the D, you can. Okay, if you haven't played a B minor before, or if that's a little difficult, I know sometimes it can be, but that's one of the chords you're going to want to learn eventually. So that'll, teach you a lot more. And if you don't know a lot about bar chords, that's also a good lesson. We got a bar chords lesson on here that you can take as well that might help you with that. So let's go through this one more time. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. E minor, A major, D major, E minor, A major, E minor, A major, B minor, E minor, A. Okay, now that you've got that down, hopefully you have that pre-chorus down. If you have to watch it a few more times, that's fine. Like I said, if you don't know how to do that B or you can't do the B, just use the D. It's going to sound just fine. It's going to be a lot easier. Okay, now let's jump to the chorus, which is just going to be the exact same as the verse, but we're going to play some notes there at the end where he sings the "We found love right where we are." He plays it while he sings those. So we're going to go like this. Let me just play through that verse once, and then I'll play that part where he sings as he's changing the chords, okay? So we go D, D, F, G, A, okay? And we do that a few times. Then he's going to play this. And this is the part that's a little bit more difficult. Okay, so this part starts on the B minor, okay? Now, when you're practicing this, try to do it with the B minor. Practice the B minor. But then know you can change it out for the D when you want it to sound fluid, or you just want an easier way to play it. But practice that B minor so you can get it down, but then you can play it with the D if that's easier for you. Okay, so I'm going to run through it really slow with the B minor first, then play it at full speed with the B minor. Then we'll do it with the D major so you can hear it in there, so you can see how it sounds and how it's going to sound pretty good, all right? So we'll go like this. Okay, B minor, A major, G, D, E minor, A major, D. Now the reason I say if you can't do the B minor, play the D is because those chords changing that fast is already going to be a challenge for a lot of you, and that's good. It's going to push your skills, especially your skills in switching chords. But at the same time, if you're throwing in something that's really, really hard, it might make it almost impossible, and then you'll just get discouraged. So let me play it one more time through with the B minor at full speed, and then let's switch over to the D major and do that a couple times, okay? So we go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once again. So you can see those last two notes, the A major to the D, is a quick change. We are. Okay, so we're gonna do that quick change like that. So now let's play it with the D major in its place. Okay, so I'm gonna play it slow once, and then let's play it at full speed. Okay, D, A, G, D, E minor, A, D. 1, 2, 3, 4. D, A, G, D, E, A, D. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that just shows you an easier way to play that. Like I said, the switching, it might get difficult there. I know those are fast. You can take this down a notch. You can play it a little slower, and it's still gonna sound good. But that should give you all the parts to the song. Now, let's go through another way to do this, another way to play it. Not so much that pre-chorus, but I want to do with the not the pre-chorus and not that end of the chorus, but the verse and the chorus, the main chorus. We're gonna learn a few more things here. So what I want to teach you now is how to play this song and muffle the last string. Okay, so that's gonna make it sound just a little bit better. Let me just show you the difference. Okay. So let's listen to the verse with the string, that extra E string in there, and then without it, okay? So we go. That high string kind of takes away from that bass note change, that F that we add in, and as well as it just doesn't sound as good. So let's play it without. I'm going to play it while muffling it, okay? And then I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, so we're going to go. Kind of hit it there at the end, but now you kind of hear it. Yeah, that sounds a lot better, because he's not playing that high string. So now what we're going to learn here in this part of the lesson is how to muffle that high note, that high E. So what I'm doing is in my D form, okay, I'm not putting on my last finger, I'm just using 2 fingers. And then I'm taking the finger that's closest to the high E string, and I'm actually going to not only put my finger on that 5th string, but I'm going to use it to barely touch this string. So I'm going to use that finger to just barely touch that last note so it won't ring and it won't play at all. So I'm not pushing it down. I'm not doing anything other than touching the string gently with my 3rd finger. That's how I do the D. Okay, so then this is the sound I get. I'm just getting those 3 strings. Then when I add my thumb, I'm just keeping my fingers there, same thing. Okay, so you got the D, add the thumb, okay. Now I'm not going to move my fingers at all, except for, well, I'm not going to move my 3rd finger. It's going to stay there. And now I'm going to reach my middle finger across to do that G note on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. And I'm also, and I don't want to make this any harder than it is. If you want to add that full G, okay, you can with the 1st finger on the 2nd string. But I'm going to mute that string as well with my 3rd finger. So now my middle finger is touching the very low E string and muting the 2nd string. So I'm actually muting the 2nd string and the last string with different fingers. So that sounds like this. Okay? If you don't want to do that, add that 2nd finger and just keep muting the last string. Just practice muting that very, very last string. Then when I do the A, I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm barely touching that last string. No matter what way you decide to do the A, you just want to touch that last string. So that's a really good skill for you to learn, a good skill to practice. It not only makes the song sound a lot better, but it's going to make you a lot better. Okay? So let's practice that. Okay? You can see how that sounds a lot better. Then when we go into that down part, you don't need to mute any strings during that. So we can play then I can go into that. That part's fine to play with the string open. So there you have it. Hopefully that gives you a good lesson and a couple things you can learn to really progress you as a player. All right, awesome. Well, hopefully that all makes sense to you, and hopefully it's something you feel like you can do with a little practice. I think you can. And as you get used to doing some of those more advanced techniques like muting strings, even using your thumb, you're just going to get better, you know, and other songs are going to come easier, and the songs you are playing currently are going to sound a lot better. So, you know, take the easy route, start easy, you know, but and then as you get better, start implementing a little bit more of those and practicing some of those things. There's no shame in just playing the chords. It's going to sound really good that way as well. So as always, like, subscribe, let me know if there's any other songs you'd like me to do or anything about these current songs that you've seen that you want me to change or do easier or do even the harder ways. Thanks.